Again, we welcome Canine Officer Cody to the Gloucester Township Police Department. Congratulations to you. Well, on behalf of our Gloucester Township community, let me congratulate our new officers and certainly welcome them to, I think, the finest police department in the state of New Jersey, if not this entire nation. We had a busy week last week. I think it was Tuesday, we acknowledged several officers from our community who saved lives using the drug Narcan. To try to combat what I believe is certainly an epidemic, a national epidemic of addiction. And we acknowledge those officers. And here in Gloucester Township, we're doing more than any other community to try to address that by placing a drug counselor in our municipal courtroom to try to get people that are suffering from addiction the help that they deserve and that they need. We also, after that, the chief and I held a national webinar for the National League of Cities. They were very interested in our at-risk youth programs that we have here in Gloucester Township. Handshakes, not handcuffs. A variety of different programs that we have at our Vision Center, our Family Resource Center. All those great programs that are trying to get at the youth of our community who may be going down the wrong path, but if we're able to get to them early and we put them down the right path, we're not only changing their lives, but we're reducing crime in the future. So many good things like the domestic violence program that we announced last Thursday at Timber Creek High School, where we have 2 specially trained police officers in domestic violence that are aiding the victims of domestic violence. So many community-oriented policing programs here in Gloucester and Gloucester Township leading the way in understanding that policing is just not about reaction, but it's about being proactive and being a part of the fabric of our community. So I congratulate our new officers. We certainly welcome our new canine officers. I tell you, I have seen them in action when they compete in different trials. They compete on the national level. We were in Springfield, Illinois back in September. Really very disciplined. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort for these officers to work with the dogs, and certainly the officers should be commended for their hard work in bringing our new canines as far as they've come. On that note, I'm really proud to announce that next year, in 2016, Gloucester Township is going to host the National Police Canine Championships here in our community. So teams from throughout the whole country will be traveling to Gloucester Township to compete here at the end of September. So we're really, really excited about that. We hope you participate in that. It's open to the public. Our closing ceremonies will be at Timber Creek High School out in their football field. Really a full week of activities that will highlight the talent of our canine handlers as well as our canine officers. So again, congratulations to all the new officers. Chief, thanks for all that you do, your command staff does. Certainly very, very proud of the Gloucester Township Police Department. Thanks for coming out this evening. Thank you.
We'll take a 5-minute recess. Thank you.
Are you sure you want to do this, David?
What are you doing? How are you? Just here to get something approved. Oh, okay. Yeah, pass it all. Hopefully there's no public comments afterwards. Probably right, doesn't it? Much cuter than that. Girl. Yes. That would have been a good picture. Hope somebody might have done it. How's he been? Busy. Yeah. I haven't felt that way in a long time. I know come winter. It'll be the time to be this week. That's right. Winter work. Both of those at the same time? You know, another farming. And they had this tent. So I'm sure this organization that rescues dogs and for safety. And if they killed a soldier, they traded a pack. This is the story was they traded cigarettes for dog people were about to throw up off the bridge. And brought the dog home. Find the strays and bring them up for free back to the party. That's a good cause.
So you lost the show. According to what that says. All right.
Yeah, I did the video. They're singing to us. How are you doing, Joanne?
I'm doing pretty good. Your name came up last night.
I hope not.
I was I was meant to ask about Pasadena Drive and Sunset Drive.
You guys gotta get family?
If you're aware of
That's
it.
all right. Line up.
I'm not aware of any
Mayor, take one in.
work
Chief,
plan.
the other.
There's no work there with these new roads. At that point, at Pasadena and Sunset, 3 towns, so nobody wants to lay claim to it, and the road is crap. Nobody wants to do it.
Center on
On the north side, that's Pasadena, straight across. That's all Magnolia.
Magnolia, what's the other town?
Then there's us
Yeah.
and Summerdale. If you come up,
Okay,
if you
all right.
come up Sunset
Yeah.
and you get to that point, Summerdale's on the right, Gloucester Township's on the left, and Magnolia's in front.
I may think write that down. I won't remember by tomorrow.
Well, Pasadena and
If you can
Sunset.
write that one. Look into that.
Yeah. But ours, I like, because it's a couple different,
Good job.
streams coming together. Nobody wants to own it and do it.
Well, there still has to be water, but you obviously don't want to do half the intersection.
Right.
We'll see you in the morning.
Right, but the Gloucester Township side is really, I mean, it's hard driving there.
We're going to get Magnolia to pay for it. But will it work?
Well, you can check it out.
No, I'll bring it up when we be doing our budget deliberation for next year soon.
Well, that's why I figured you were the one that if it needed to go on an agenda somewhere.
Oh, it's something we'd have to work out some sort of interlocal agreement with the other towns. If it's,
Yeah.
obviously, you want to do the whole thing in one project.
Okay, thank you.
Into it. All right. Interesting.
Now I can report to say that, yes, I did it. I
did it,
spoke
yes.
to Jim.
It may not go any further, but at least you got that for
That's all I can do. I can only do so much.
it. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Tom. I heard that. What's that? I'd have to put my glasses on. I can't hear. What's that?
Madam Clerk, may I have the roll call again, please?
Mr. Hutchison?
Present.
Mr. Schmidt?
Present.
Mr. Trotta? Here. Mrs. Winters? Here. Mr. Bennett?
Present. We'll now have our first public portion. This first public portion is for agenda items only. Anyone addressing council will speak one at a time. And just as a reminder of our rules of order, there's a 15-minute time limit for the first public portion, with each speaker entitled to 3 minutes. Is there any hands? Mr. Polidoro.
Good evening, Council. Ray Polidoro, Ariel. The resolution 1510-307, it is insertion of a special item of revenue in the budget or any county or municipal pursuant to NJSA. Can you put that layman's terms? I had a printer issue. I would love to have brought it with me, but to the public, what does that mean to them?
That is a JAG grant, Justice Assistance Grant. That's something that, correct me if I'm wrong, Deputy Chief, that you have gone out and partnered with other Camden County municipalities on this grant. And this is the portion that you've received.
This is a federal Burns, it's the U.S. Department of Justice Burns grant
and Camden City administers the whole grant for Camden County. Cherry Hill gets the grant, we get the grant, Winslow. It's set on a formula, and it's used to buy police equipment. So in order for us to get the money, we have to go into shared services with the Camden City to get that.
Understood.
We've been doing it for as long as I can remember. So.
Excellent.
And since it wasn't the original budget, it's inserted into the budget, correct?
That's correct.
Thanks, Deputy Chief. The second is 1510-308, resolution authorizing advertising of bids for the internal vehicle wash treatment system. Is this what was talked about years ago that was going to take place with the truck wash, commercial truck wash?
Yes.
Is this also going to be just Gloucester Township municipal vehicles? Or if I remember correctly, there was a discussion that if other vehicles of other towns were to utilize our facility, there would be a fee set that would at least cover the cost, if not more, for those vehicles using our facility. Is that correct?
Yes, I would say it is correct.
Okay. Do we know, we don't know at this time, because it's a bid, what it will cost, correct?
Also,
And that will come before council one more time, at least. Okay. The third is basically, again, just finding out when I got here, with the yellow sheet that has to do with the GEMS landfill, and because of the importance of such a subject, why again is this a walk-on? If it's so important, why is it not done and prepared well for council to put on the agenda so the public could see that when the agenda gets put online?
I received this today. Tom, is there any?
Yeah, I mean, there is some urgency to move it forward. The tax credits expire at the end of 2016. These projects, in my experience with them, they take quite a bit of time.
it is a little difficult to hear.
I said tax credits expire at the end of 2016. These type of projects tend to take a considerable amount of time. So even just a 2-week period could be affecting this project.
Okay.
And since it's not on the agenda, if there's anyone who will comment on it, because it's not on the formal agenda, but it was online during the day, but when it was released on Thursday, it wasn't. So if there's any comments regarding that, we'll entertain those as well.
It's just, and again, I don't want to be funny about this, but some very important items come before this council that are very burning issues that have to be dealt with on that night, but they wind up being a walk-on resolution. If it's of such great importance, what is the reason that these things are held up, that you just got it, and it becomes so important and relevant the day of a council meeting when either someone was holding it and failed to forward it in a timely fashion, or it's just something that is brought forth for a reason at the last minute? I mean, that seems to be a subject matter that I believe this the township residents would want to know, would want to talk about, because it basically describes redevelopment, and it's constantly barraged with redevelopment all over the place. It doesn't really describe what the intention of the township is on that. We know what it may be, but it gets confusing because it's constantly redundant, and it's a walk-on, and it's not in a simple enough form. But it's important enough. Why is it?
I respond, and I'll let Tom respond.
Please do.
After that, your time's up. This was discussed at our workshop, and there was some additional information that we needed. This information, I believe, came to light in the last 9 days since our workshop. But there's an opportunity to speak on this issue now. Tom, do you want to add to that?
And this isn't, what's happening here is not new. There was an appointment made as a redevelopment by a company called AM Solar.
And then that was rescinded.
And that took place a while
Sold
back.
to another company.
Right, they sold.
That was rescinded, and now we have another one.
Correct. So this is a continuation of an event that took place, I think, over a year and a half ago, or 2 years. So this is nothing new.
It certainly is. We've been talking about this since
What's
2006.
the name of the company and the individuals involved in the company? They're doing
Right.
the same thing that was awarded to AM Solar.
Now, to be clear, this redevelopment that is being considered here is for prospective solar panels or any or redevelopment.
prospective solar panels or any type of, I don't think we're going to build houses on the Jeff's landfill.
They're at the base of it, so nothing would surprise me.
So, no. Thank you very much.
Well, I just have one more question again.
Ray, your time's up.
You didn't answer my question, my time's not up. The
Yes, it
question
is.
was,
Ray,
why is it
Ray,
of such?
Ray, your time's up.
No, sir, it's not. No, sir, it's not, because you did not answer my question, which I'm entitled to an answer to.
You can come back up. We're going to go to the next speaker.
Mr. Mercado, the question was already put forth. Just answer the question. Why, of things of great importance, can it be put before the regular agenda that goes out on Thursday so that people that are not just getting home from work on Monday are not going to have that opportunity, but they have the weekend to review
I
that?
answered. I said this was discussed at the workshop. We were looking for additional information. That information came in over that time period. Thank you very
I
much.
sure hope you loosen up on the clock, because you make Mr. Bianchini look wonderful in the eyes of the public, as usual. Thank you.
Mr. Kipsness.
Good evening, Jim Kibblestis, Ariel. Just additional questions on 313, the GEMS thing. When is the state taking over responsibility for the GEMS landfill?
They have.
They have. Don't they own the property then?
No, we own the property.
You own the property, so all revenue generated from this solar field will be coming to the township?
That's a question that was brought up during our workshop. Dan had brought that up as a concern to our solicitor. That, at this point,
Raise the question to the energy consultant, and they agree that it would be to the township.
all revenue.
Yes.
All revenue will come, any idea approximately, I know you're sending it out for bids, but approximately what that revenue would be?
You don't even know
No
what's
idea
going
at this
on.
time. Exactly.
You don't know the size of this.
Okay, but isn't there a limitation on the acreage that they can put these solar panels on, construct them?
I think that's all part of what they're going to do.
Okay, and that includes the swamp pink? What can I say?
Yeah.
That was a big deal back in 2006, 2007. Okay, so we do get the revenue. And all solar farms that we have in the township generate this revenue to our municipal budget?
It reduces the energy cost.
Okay. Okay, so it's
If
like,
I could add, you talk about the existing solar fields, some of them are going to the Board of Education budget.
right, I understand that.
The others on the municipal stuff, that's municipality.
Okay.
Landfill stuff, the intention is, as far as we know, from the rules and regs, regulations will all go to the township. What the rules and regulations will be 5 years from now, but right now, that's what it is.
Okay, good, thank you.
Is there anyone else? Seeing none, we'll close the correspondence portion. At our workshop, we discussed the northern portion of the bicycle path. Correct, Madam Clerk? And we needed a straw pole. It was a proposal to provide engineering services for a conceptual plan for the northern portion of the bicycle path. So that straw poll did not take place at our workshop, so we need a straw poll now, Madam Clerk. And the roll call.
Mr. Hutchison?
Yes.
Mr. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mrs. Estrada? Yes. Mrs. Winters? Mrs. Mercado?
Yes, and we're able to do a straw poll because R&B is engineer of record, correct? Correct. Thank you. Bid report?
Kelly Driver Road Improvement, fiscal year 2015, New Jersey DOT Municipal Aid Implementing Program.
Is there a motion to accept?
Second.
All those in favor? Oh, I'm sorry. On the,
Mr. Hutchison?
Yes.
Mr. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mrs. Estrada? Yes. Mrs. Winters? And Mrs. Mercado?
yes. Resolutions of consent agenda. Any council member that would like to move any of the items on the consent agenda, please speak up. Entertain a motion.
Second.
Madam, roll call.
Mr. Hutchison?
Yes.
Mr. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mrs. Estrada? Yes. Mrs. Winters? And Mrs. Mercado?
Yes.
313, Resolution of the Township Council of the Township of Gloucester, Camden County, New Jersey, naming a redeveloper for the Gems Landfill redevelopment site plan and area, and authorizing the signing of a redevelopment agreement memorandum.
I entertain a motion at this time.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison?
Yes.
Mr. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mrs. Strato? Yes. Mrs. Winters? Yes. Mr. Reparo?
Yes. We did receive one e-gov question. That individual's in the audience. Mr. Heimbaugh, you want to ask your question?
Please proceed.
You want me to read the email?
Please.
Okay, I'll read the
It
email.
won't go against the time. Don't worry.
It won't go. Okay. This came in at 6:03 p.m. From Mr. Peter Heimbaugh to Morningstar Court. Will you explain all the details of the current status of the Gems landfill site? What is the role of the trust? What is the role of our appointed trustee? Does Gloucester Township have any further financial obligations? What are Gloucester Township's rights for use of this land? What are the responsibilities of the state of New Jersey or any other agency? Again, this came in at 6:03. I did not have the opportunity to speak to Mr. Carlemere about this. He's coming in fresh off the street. I do know that the state has assumed responsibility for the landfill. The township still owns the landfill. Other than that, I can respond, or we can respond as to you, Mr. Heimbaugh, through Mr. Carlemere's office. So I'll pass this to Mr. Carlemere for him to take a look at.
Thank you.
We'll now open the second public portion. This is for any item. Once again, we'll follow the rules of order. There's a 30-minute time limit. Each speaker can have a maximum of 5 minutes. Mr. Kibbles.
Jim Kibbles again, Ariel. Follow up on the turf that you want to put out, the rubber turf. Just a question I have. I know you're looking at other materials rather than having the churned up tires being part of it. They had a article out that Nike sneakers has a Nike grind, where they take the old sneakers and they use that in place of the tires. The other one is a cork and coconut husk material that they put down. Average cost
increase is $40,000. I really think since there's such a discussion on the cancer portions of the tire material, that it would be worth us to really look into spending that additional money if you go with the turf, to go with one of these alternative materials. At $40,000, counting the health of our children, the athletes that are on that field, even when you look at professional football players, you can see that stuff kick up, and you got to breathe it in or eat it somehow. So that's my concern or suggestion, that you really dig deep in the pockets and spend the extra money if you go through the turf. Okay?
Thank you. And just to add to that, I'm not sure if you were at the workshop, but just for the public's general information, the township has not gone out to bid yet on the on the turf. There's some misinformation out there that we've approved an ordinance of $10 million and we put it out. Exactly. So I just want to clarify that to the public here and those who are watching, that we have not gone out to bid yet. We're still putting specs together. So just if you hear people who have some misinformation out there, please clarify that.
Right, you are correct, Mr. McConnell, because you were still doing the investigation when it came up, the concern with these shredded tires as part of the materials.
Thank you, Jim. I agree with you. Anyone else? Mr. Polidoro.
Can we get the microphone working? I have something from a resident, but I'm here to see. Okay. And I wish my time to stop until I start speaking. Yeah.
evening again, Council Ray Politor, Ariel. Young lady named Laura Cafara could not be here tonight. She asked if she could speak on a speakerphone. I told her that how that would not probably work out too well. She texted me a statement that she would like council to hear. You would know her better as the daughter of the lady who contracted Legionnaire's disease on Lake Renee. She had notified me of all the several meetings that she's had on the phone and also at the mayor's office. She wanted this township and this mayor to know this one thing. And again, these are the words of Laura Cafara of Ariel. She only cares about one thing, and that is her mother. And all her mother cares about right now is other people contracting this illness. She lost the mother that she knew, who is still here on this earth, but it's not the mother that she recognizes. After several attempts to try and get the results that she was looking for, she got the same results, basically, that I got. In 2006, the lake was tested, and Legionella was present, but not known of any dangerous levels. Around the time that the project was put forth to be done is when the township was notified that she had contracted this Legionnaire's disease. All that was ever asked, and I included, have asked before that project would begin to have the lake tested, and tested at that time for the levels at that time, and also to know if the lake would be drained in a safe manner to which that Legionella containing water being airborne would not be an issue. Again, she wants to let this council know, and to know again a second time, all she cares about is her mother, and all her mother cares about is other people contracting this illness, and all she feels that you care about is what's in your best interest, and you're not seeing nor hearing them. Those are the words of that young lady, and I told her I would read that before council tonight, so thank you for listening.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Ms. Carr?
Joanne Carr, Timber Birch. This always goes. About a month ago, I came before you about Grenlock School. And Mr. Hutchison, you asked me how old it was. It took a lot of doing, but I did find out how old it is. And I'd like to give a little history lesson with it. Historical records show that the Grenlock section of Gloucester Township began as Spring Mills. In 1840, the Spring Mills School was built near the railroad in our present Grenlock area through the benevolence of the Spring Mills Fork Works. It was a one-room wooden school. Like most schools of this vintage, it was also designed with a recitation platform across the front. The new school was a result of a petition by parents whose children were attending Blackwood School. So we know Blackwood School was before 1840. Parents claimed that the daily walk to the Blackwood School was too great for their children. This school served the community until overcrowded conditions mandated a new school. A list of Gloucester Township schools dated 1871 showed that Spring Mills School number 91 was located on Little Gloucester Road, later known as Old Grenlock School. In 1916, a new two-room brick school was built on the Black Horse Pike. This is what we presently know as Grenlock School. Dedication ceremonies were held on Saturday, February 24th, 1917. The school began as a two-room brick building. In just a few years, expansion was a necessity. The addition of 2 rooms was completed in 1922. So next year it will be 100 years old. A small school had been built in 1869 in the village of Davistown, located southeast of Blackwood and near Grenlock. It was originally called Davistown District Number 23 and was a small wooden 2-story structure, 20 feet by 40 feet. The downstairs was used for the school, the upstairs for lodge meetings. Its name was later changed to Gloucester Township District Number 29. The Davistown School was the only all-black school that ever existed within the current Gloucester Township boundaries. In 1886, Davistown became part of Gloucester Township. Upon the opening of Grenlock School, all the children were transferred to the new Grenlock School. With the closing of the Davistown School, segregation was never again experienced in Gloucester Township. The Grenlock School, this was done in 25 years ago, this report. At that time, it provided educational programs and services for preschool handicapped children 2.5 to 5 years of age.
You made a statement about that segregation never existed again. What year was that?
Just change that.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I tried to listen for it, but I didn't catch the year.
Well, it was one of those earlier schools. It was the Grenlock District School.
Very end.
Kind of like
Was it in the
1866.
late 1800s?
Yeah. Right here.
Ms. Carr,
1869, Davistown School was built. And then it went over in 1886.
The kids from the Davistown School went to
Grenlock.
When?
1886. But that was a different building, but it was
That's interesting.
but it's part of the history of Gloucester
That
Township.
predates the segregation cases.
and Ms. Carr, that was something that was put together by the former superintendent, Lilly, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. This was done in 89 and 90, and Mayor Mullen wrote a forward for it, and it has a really good history about. So I'm back here again. I've asked several different people about what's happening with Grenlock School and the Crate organization, and I get conflicting responses. So if the contract they wanted to do goes through, fine, I can't do anything. But if it does not go through, if it falls apart, I want to ask you, my council, to do something for me. The Historic and Scenic Preservation Committee of Gloucester Township was developed to seek, identify, and preserve historical properties in the township. You appointed me to that committee. I found something that we know it has the age. It's going to be 100 years old next year, especially on February 24th or 17th. But it also has historical significance just in the area for the township. If the Prade deal falls apart, I would like you, my council, to talk about it, to seriously consider saving this. The last time I got up here, it takes me a while to formulate things, but you, our council, are the redevelopment authority in Gloucester Township. You, our council, are redeveloping Blackwood. You want that old-time charm. You're paying for replicas of lights on the street corners and paving. Down the street is the legitimate, the real deal. Why should we let it go? We let our train station go and some other town bought it, and we don't have it now. Why should we let this go if we have the opportunity to keep it? I was speaking with the mayor recently, and he goes, "Oh, Joanne, it's in disrepair, and it's not, you know." And later again, I thought, you know, I pay my taxes, and I pay a lot of taxes for my school board. Why is it in disrepair? How did that happen? why are we not maintaining what we own? So even if it has disrepair, I should think we should be able to, if it doesn't go through and it still belongs to the township, to the school board or whoever, I think we need to consider doing something about it. And I would like you guys to talk amongst yourselves, discuss it, and see what you can come up with. Because you know I'll be back here and I'll ask you what you said. So, but I appreciate anything you can do for me. Okay.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Seeing none, we'll close the second public portion. Director?
Chief Earl.
No report, thanks.
Mr. Carlemere.
Nothing to
Mr. Cardis.
Yeah, I just want to report that we have a shredder event going on at Public Works this Saturday, I believe it's from 7 to 1 in the morning, where the public can bring documents out of the shredder.
Mr. Hutchison.
Thank you very much for coming out. Congratulations to the police officers. Joanne, that was very interesting. I'm intrigued with the acting on segregation prior to the Supreme Court doing so in the 60s. That's pretty fascinating stuff. So, thank you. Have a good night.
I'd like to congratulate the officers and the canines also. Joanne, you're right. You don't know where you're going till you know where you've been. Thank you, everybody, for coming out this evening and staying.
Mrs. Trotter. Mrs. Winters.
I just want to congratulate the officers and the canines. Joanne, thank you. That was very interesting to hear that. I did attend the Pumpkin Festival on Sunday. It was a gorgeous day, packed crowd. It's always a nice event. Thank you. Have a great week.
Mr. McConnell.
I too would like to congratulate our officers that were sworn in today and our canine dogs. I think that echo what Michelle said about the Pumpkin Festival, and thank Main Stage for that. It's a signature event for our community, but also our Public Works and our police department, and made sure that people were safe and trash was picked up in the area. Looked wonderful throughout the weekend. I'd like to thank the individuals that participated in our Citizens Appreciation Park event, which happened last week. It was a wonderful event in Glendora, which serves as a gateway to our community. If you haven't been out there, please see the park and the new names that have been affixed to the plaques that are there. And then just a community announcement. On Friday, October 23rd, the township is having its second annual trunk or treat event here in Veterans Park. Last year was an overwhelming success. So if you have an opportunity and you have any children or grandchildren, please bring them out to trunk or treat. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn our meeting. Second. All those in favor? Have a great evening, everyone.